Hey guys, it's Mr. Chemistry here. Thank you for being with me today. So here's a video on today's lesson, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Camp Sunshine packet. We're not going to quite finish yet today. There's one more thing that I want to add on to. But I just wanted to be there in person when I showed you guys that, okay? So we're going to hold that off till next time, which I believe is Friday when I see you guys again, okay? So until then, why don't we go ahead and get out your Camp Sunshine. I just want to make sure that we have everything in place before moving on forward, okay? So here is page, what is this? Page 6. Go ahead and get it up. You were to finish all the way up to here, right? So why don't I go ahead and take one of the three elements. Which one should I do? Why don't I go ahead and do calcium here? Okay, so I know we've been using a lot of different words, you know, whole analogy behind Camp Sunshine, the campers, the cabins, the roads. We're going to one by one, you know, put an actual chemistry behind these analogies, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start with the total number of campers, as in how many electrons are there in a given calcium element, okay? So let's go ahead and get your periodic table out. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds. So right now, I hope you are getting your periodic tables out, your own, okay? Okay. All right, so let's begin. So locate calcium, okay? I hope you have your periodic table colored, and, you know, the bottom left-hand corner, there's the key. Now, I saw that a lot of you guys have left that blank. No, you need to color that section too, so that you know which color is what group, right? If you don't have that colored, what good is this key, right, guys? So let's see. What do we have here? Calcium, it is the 20th element on the periodic table. That's the atomic number, right? Which tells you a couple of other pieces of information. You know now that there's also 20 protons as well as 20 electrons. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. There are 20 campers that are homeless, looking to be placed into their corresponding cabins, right? And what are these cabins once again? These. They have a very set name, specific name. And you can kind of see, go up and down and see the number of cabins that is available. And you'll notice a pattern here, guys, okay? The pattern here is that anything that has S attached to it, there's only one cabin, right? And we know that in each cabin, how many electrons can fit. There's a bunk bed, right? There's the top bunk and there's the bottom bunk, right? So which means 2 electrons can be accommodated inside of a same cabin. All right, so let's move on now. What else do you notice about this? Take a look at circle, or just, I guess, see all the P cabins. Notice that all the P cabins, there's going to be 3 possible cabins for electrons to be distributed, right? And how many go on each one? 2, 2, 2. So total of 6. But remember the bus analogy, right? Or / urinal analogy, whatever works better, guys, okay? You always want to fill each one first. Now, the arrow direction does not matter. I repeat, it really doesn't. As long as you have one facing some direction. But I like to always do up. Hope that's okay. So up, only then you can pair them up like such. So you notice it's same across the board here. Any P cabin is going to will accommodate up to 6 electrons. Okay? All right. Now there's one more, okay? Now we're going to be seeing, I guess I'm not going to do this today because I want to do this when I'm with you guys on Friday. So we'll stop right there, okay? Now a couple of rules, right? You need to fill from bottom top, okay? Bottom up. And let's go and start with that. So 20 electrons, here we go. 1, 2. So there's 2 that goes in there. There's 1, 2. That's 2 more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now that's still not 20. You have to do some math as we go, right? 1, 2. That is 2. Still not 20. We need a lot more than that. Oop. See that, don't make that mistake, right? Don't pair them up yet. Make sure you have one in each cabin. Only then you can pair them up. Okay, so there's 6. Is that it? Is that enough? Let's see. Let's do the math here. That's 4. This is 10. That is 12. And that is 18. Nope, we're not quite there yet. We still need 2 more electrons, and those are going to go right in here. 2 electrons, and they add up to 20. And we check that off as in we're good to go. Okay, now let's go ahead and write out our full address. Okay, so that we know where electrons are on which energy level and inside which cabin, right? So we start from the bottom, write down the name of the cabin that the electrons are in. 2s, 2 electrons, 2s, 2 electrons, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, last but not least, 4s2. Done. That is the full electron configuration. Now I'm going to add another layer. Ready? Not really adding another layer, but I'm going to stop using the words cabins now. Now we're going to replace this cabins with the word, ready? Cabin is the same thing as an orbital. Okay? Now these are specific locations on the energy level. Okay? So let me go ahead and tell you what that means. Here's the one in front, right? So that means on the first energy level, somewhere on the first energy level is where this s orbital is, right? Kind of like somewhere on the first road, we have this s cabin somewhere. And that somewhere, we have 2 electrons. So that's the first energy level. First level. Okay? So again, somewhere on the first energy level, that's what that 1 represents, there's this s orbital somewhere. Okay? All right, let's move on. There's more. What about this? We're going to have to group them together, right? Because they both belong to the 2, which means the second energy level. So I'm going to label second level here. Somewhere on the second level, there's going to be this s orbital somewhere that can accommodate up to 2 electrons, right? And somewhere else on the second energy level where there is this p orbital where it can actually accommodate 6 electrons. You got that? All right. So again, I'm using more of this chemistry terminologies now, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and just clean that up a little bit now that we have out of the place, okay? Okay. So I hope you have the same thing here. Now, let's see. What is the number of valence electrons? Valence campers. Okay. That has to be the electrons that are on the highest energy level. Remember, where's the highest? You always look to the top. Okay? Now this here has to be the highest energy level because it is on the 4th energy level. Wow. It goes all the way to the 4th ring. And how many electrons occupy that? 2 valence electrons. Done. That's it. Okay? Now let's do the abbreviated address. So the abbreviated electron configuration. Couple of steps for this. You need to first locate calcium on the periodic table. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Ready? I'm gonna switch files here. Just don't be alarmed. Here we go. So here is calcium. Okay, we just did calcium, right? So calcium is right here, guys. Now, in order for us to write the abbreviated, you need to understand what exactly is abbreviated electron configuration. Well, abbreviated, it just means condensed. Okay, you saw that long electron configuration that we just had to write. Dude, look how long this is. We're going to condense it so that it's short and sweet. Okay, so now let's go back to the periodic table really quick. Here's calcium, guys, right? Here's calcium. Okay, now we are going to find the nearest noble gas. Okay, well, where are the noble gases? Well, take a look, guys. According to this, my key here, the noble gases are the purples. These, the 18th column. This is the 18th group, right? Group 18 is where you have the noble gases. locate the nearest one. But here's the catch. You can only go back. Like number wise. Okay, so what does that mean? It means you cannot go up. Like 20, 21, 22, 23. And go, oh, here it is. Here's Krypton. That must be the nearest. No, that is going forward. You can only go back. So if that's 20, go 19 and 18. Boom. There you have it. Argon is the nearest noble gas. Okay, then what do I do with it? So now that I know, ready? I'm going to go back to my Camp Sunshine here, abbreviate it, and I'm going to write down using brackets. We don't do parentheses like this, okay? Use the bracket and write down the symbol for argon, which is AR. Okay, now there's one more thing that you're going to do. I want you to go back to your full electron configuration and find the highest energy level. See, isn't that the highest energy level? It's got the biggest number, 4th, right? All we're doing is we're just writing the highest energy level part. That. So bring that forward, or bring that down, I should say, 4s2. Done, that's it. That is the abbreviated address for this calcium. Okay, well, let's do another one here, guys. Let's do it quickly. I'm not going to spend as much time, going over the detail. I'm just going to really go through this really quickly, okay? So let's go find silicon. Silicon is the 14th element on the periodic table, which means it has 14 electrons that I need to distribute, or I should say configure, right? Let's go ahead and see. Go top, bottom up, right? So 1, 2, that's 2 electrons. 3, 4, that's 2 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's 6 electrons right there. I need to distribute, looks like 4 more electrons. Ready? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So that's 2, 2. Looks like I have 14. I did my math. Let's go ahead and write down the full electron configuration. Okay, state the orbital. Which orbital is the first set in? 1s, 2, and then 2s, 2, 2p, 6, 3s, 2, and 3p, 2. That's it. Okay, so that's the full electron configuration. Now, what about the abbreviated configuration? Again, same idea. Let's go to the periodic table. Let's go, periodic table. Where is my silicon this time? We're not looking at calcium anymore. Where is, donde está? Right here. Here's 14, okay? Again, what was the rule again? The only rule here is you can only go back. You cannot go forward. If I go forward, you're gonna write down argon and go, oh, no, that's not right. You can only go back. So that's 14, that's the atomic number. So here's me going back. I'm going back. And, looks like it's neon. Okay, so neon is what I'm going to refer to. That's like a checking point almost. Like here's where I'm starting. And you're only going to write down the highest energy level electron configuration only. So what does that look like? Go to your Camp Sunshine. In brackets, neon, that's neon, okay? And if you look back up to your full electron configuration, and what's your highest energy level? Now, here's a common mistake that you'll probably make, and I don't want you to, guys, okay? And you'll go, oh, all I have to do is 3p2, because that's the last one, okay? No. I'm talking about the highest energy level, which means anything that is on the highest energy level. Guys, this is 3p, which means 3, the third energy level here, is considered the highest energy level, which means you have to include everything from the third energy level. So which means anything that has 3 in it, because that's the highest. That's 3s2, 3p2, and that's it. And it looks like there's 4 valence electrons. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's all I want to do here. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and I want you to go. Is there more questions that I can do? No, you know what? I'm just gonna stop here. I think that's it. That was pretty relatively short, right, guys? It's the same page. We're gonna stop here. I want you to go back and fill in all the abbreviated configuration. Okay, this video is uploaded onto the Mr. Chemistry YouTube, which can be found under the resources folder, Schoology. You can go ahead and rewatch if you would like. Okay, so this video really highlights the abbreviated address, the abbreviated electron configuration. So go back and fill all of this out. It will take a few minutes only. Okay, so now we have to really go back to our note sheet and fill this out, right? So noble gas notation, or there's a couple of names, but I'm always using this name here, guys. Okay, so don't be confused when I use abbreviated configuration. So abbreviated configuration is condensed. Let's write this down. So go to your note sheet. Okay, so let's get the document out. Get the document. I'm going to give you some time. Okay, it's the condensed electron configuration. With the nearest noble gas with the highest level electron, I should say, configuration. I hope that makes sense. So now we can go ahead and really label those the blue arrows, right? So He, that's helium, which really is a noble gas, right? You're always referring back to the noble gas. And at this point, you should know that that 1 indicates which energy level it is on. And the S is the orbital. So on the energy level, where is it? It's inside this small pocket of location called an orbital, right? We call that the cabin. So that you know what I'm referring to. And that 2, the exponent, that's the number of electrons. And this here is the orbital notation. And we know how that works, right? It fills bottom up. Okay, all right. That's it for the notes. Sweet. Okay, so homework time. For the remainder of today, I'm going to ask you to work on this entire thing. I say that like it's a lot of work, but guys, you have like an hour, okay? Okay, I'm going to instruct our lovely sub to give you guys that 5-minute break in between. So again, please go ahead and work somewhere around the room. I don't care if you want to do it individually, if you want to do it in your lab tables, but if my sub sees anything like you're not working, she's gonna be jotting down names and you're gonna be in trouble. Okay, so guys, please use the time effectively. Okay, we have our test coming up next Tuesday. Okay, it's a unit test, so it's a big one. All right, so spend this time, work on the Camp Sunshine. You cannot move forward anymore because we don't know what's next. I'm gonna go over that with you on Friday, but just go back and write down all the abbreviated electron configurations for the ones you've done for homework, and then please work on this document. Again, this is graded. This is your review, okay? So I should probably delete this because that's from before. So now you can start from number 1. There's going to be some empty places that you've not filled out yet, and that's okay. That's going to be today. Remember this page? I did it with you guys right before the quiz. Now you have all this to work on. Use your notes. Okay? And there's some spiral questions from Unit 1 as well. Okay? All right. I want to finish this and submit for points. Okay? Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday. Thank you.